Mayor Monica Eva Copa, who is the mayor of El Alto in Bolivia, to join us here on stage. The mayor would like to share a few slides with us, and then we'll continue into the panel discussion. If you don't speak Spanish, please put on your headphones as well. The mayor will address us in Spanish.
Hola, soy un poquito bajita, así que muy buenos días a todos.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you very cordially for inviting me to the panel today. I am the mayor of El Alto, second largest city of Bolivia, 1.2 million inhabitants, and we believe that we're soon going to grow to 2 million. We're second largest city in our country. Our plan also makes reference to our sustainable development growth. It is called Ayayu, and it is devised according to our culture, to our identity, yet we use the latest technologies for it, just like in other countries. We have 4 important axes in mind, and they are connected to those subjects, to the subjects that UN Habitat refers to. Green city. Unfortunately, there are no green spaces in our city. We don't have such an option, as we are a very young city. We're only 37 years, and we're developing, so we're saying that El Alto is a space where we can implement those sustainable development goals in the future. The rights to health, education, and lack of violence. We see political, sexual, and economic violence, and they are strongly related to women. Some believe that women cannot play social or political role. Nonetheless, they must be certain structures that will change our activity and our actions. A woman must have her place in politics and also develop city policies. Education was a privilege to education for some. Not everyone had access to education because not everyone had access to the internet, and through this they had no access to education. That's why we work on this law being respected, and in the development it's important that we have employment. We said that women during the pandemic would leave their professional work to tend to the family, and now women are the last to return to professional work, and employment is something important, but employment that is respectful for the woman's dignity is something that really matters, because it also has bearings for future generations, and it must be aligned with our identity. I am an Aymara, and I don't want to lose my Aymara identity, but I don't want to lose technology either, or to be deprived of it. It's very important that there is transparent management and governance. But sometimes we're really addicted to mobiles. It used to be a privilege. Now it's a necessary object while we work. My friend discussed urban development here, and we must remember that without an appropriate technology, we, in our capacity of local authorities, can't know that. We won't know what must be decided. To do that, we first need political will, on top of that, appropriate economy, and then, on top of all those, civil awareness, because citizens, that's the civil part of a society, must participate in this transformation. That is why any technology that takes part in this transformation must be aligned with our identity and with our custom. Looking for a balance between technology and identity, we can turn into proper cities that, without that, would never ever have become sustainable. That is perhaps the reason why at UN Habitat we work with our volunteers, and this means we're going to implement various goals that have been defined for 20, 30 years. A handful of examples: we have 1.2 million inhabitants, but we only have 2 hospitals, 2 referring hospitals. We need at least 2 more, but the hospital that has an appropriate level of medical services and offers proper treatment, including traditional medicine, is something that we, the locals, consider very, very important. Those who had no money had no access to all that medicine. We had access to traditional medicine based on plants, on herbs. You can also speak of virtual medicine, its latest achievements, but it's also very important to use and exploit our eucalyptuses and various ointments. For example, eucalyptus ointment that helped COVID patients. It also opened the eyes to our government and showed that creativity and innovation can come together with new technology, but also with traditional medicine of my people. That's why we believe that in this forum we will be able to learn to cooperate with other institutions, for example, UN Habitat, and to learn in our new city. As I said, that's a city that's not yet 40, so help us to develop. This is a city that believes in technology and innovation. I believe we can create a city that's going to be resilient, that's going to be sustainable. And here we learn very interesting things about other cities, and also in coordination with the central government will be able to do it. You mentioned plenty of recommendations, and I hope they are going to be really useful. In education, we see as a priority sustaining the sectors which are most vulnerable. Thank you very much for the opportunity to participate and to share some words about our city and the 2030 goals.